Hey everyone, welcome back to LightHearted. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Britton. Today we're talking about something we all have, whether we wanted them or not. Hard-earned life lessons.
Yep, the kind that don't usually come tied up with a pretty bow. These are the lessons that kind of wrecked us before they really taught us anything.
And maybe you're in the middle of learning one of these lessons right now, or maybe you've come out the other side and you're stronger, but maybe still a little salty, and that's okay. Either way, we've got you. We're sharing our own stories today, and we've got some great questions for you to reflect on too. Okay, so I thought we could maybe just start with sharing some personal stories to dive in here. I think one really hard lesson that I had to learn in my life was to let go of people who weren't willing to grow. And not to say that like if somebody's struggling or they're not working on themselves or whatever, that it's time to peace out. But I think like if you grow too hard in different directions, that can be really, really hard to reconcile. And so, yes, like I had a few people in my life where it was like, man, we're just in really, really, really different places and it doesn't make sense for us to spend all this time together. So it wasn't like hateful or anything like that. It was just like, it doesn't make sense to do that and to like force friendships or force relationships that just aren't really there naturally. Yeah. I think another one that was really, really challenging for me to learn was that it is not my job to fix and save everybody around me. Like everyone's kind of on their own little journeys and it's up to them. Like I'm able to offer advice in certain situations if they want it.
Yeah.
But it's not my job to like roll in there and just fix everything. And yeah, I think that was a tough lesson because I'm a fixer and I'm a problem solver and I don't like seeing people that I love hurting.
Yep.
And so that was a tough one. That was that was like a call to change for me. Research in psychology calls this post-traumatic growth. Isn't that fun? Mm-hmm. So this is the idea that painful experiences often bring about more empathy, clarity, and personal development than easy ones. But that growth, it usually comes after a whole lot of confusion and a whole lot of mess. Okay, I have a few questions for you.
Oh, love it.
All right, Rachel, what is a lesson life had to keep slapping you with before you finally listened? Because we all have those, though. We all have them. It's not just you.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think one lesson that kept slapping me in the face over and over again is that I am not in control of everything.
That's a really tough one.
Yeah. And we're not meant to be in control of everything. I felt like I was always trying to carry everything on my own, my plans, my purpose, the people around me, feeling like if I just worked hard enough, I would finally get there and finally get it together. And if I just tried hard enough, everything would fall into place the way I wanted it to be. And then when it didn't work out the way I thought, I was just exhausted and felt like a failure. So I just became very exhausted in myself because I just kept trying to fix something that I couldn't fix and trying to control things that I couldn't control, when all along God was just asking me to be surrendered rather than trying to fix it all myself.
Thanks for sharing that, because I know that's not an easy path, but I know it's one that a lot of people walk. So I think it's really important to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we did an episode in the first season of how to let go of what we can't control, because it's such a universal struggle that people deal with. So
do you feel like as you go along on, trying to control things, are there any red flags that like pop up for you along the way of being like, hey, by the way, like you're not in control. You don't need to worry about this.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about the flags that pop up for you?
Sure. There were definitely red flags and I 100% ignored them. Like how anxious I felt or how tired I was, how much I would distance myself from people that I loved and that loved me, including God. I mean, I felt like there were signs everywhere, but I just kept pushing because I'm someone like, I don't want to feel weak. I don't want to feel like I gave up. And again, it's a normal feeling to want to be in control of things. And so it's just really hard to surrender that. extremely difficult. So yeah, there were definitely a lot of red flags, but I just ignored them.
That's fair.
I just ignored them. And in the beginning, I think it takes time to be able to recognize those as what they are, because I feel like a lot of times we just sum it up to who we are, and it's like, that can't be tied to that, even though you know that it is, you know? But
it's like deep down, you know. I thought it was interesting that one of the red flags for you is like pulling back from everybody else. Like, that's really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Why do you think that is? Like, why do you think, like, when you're feeling like you want to control everything, that you have to like pull away from people?
I think because the people I'm super close to know me so well, they're going to call it out. They're going to know, like, hey, you need to chill.
What you doing?
You know, like in a nice, loving way, but still you pull away from that because you don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
So
I think that happens a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. With like every issue that comes up is like, well, I'm just going to not talk to my friends for a minute. Yeah. I like that. I feel like you've made some like pretty major strides in that arena.
Yeah.
So what finally clicked for you, and what changed your perspective? How did you move forward?
Yeah. I feel like what finally clicked for me was just hitting a wall. Emotionally, physically, spiritually. I would have moments where I would just like lose it. And I would just cry. But when it feels like you have nothing left to give to anyone else or yourself, it's like, okay, something's got to give here.
Yeah.
So I think it's those hard moments where you finally, like, you can't go anywhere. There's nowhere to go. That's like, okay, I get it, you know, because some people are stubborn. Not me, but some people are stubborn.
Like other people I know.
And it has to hit you in the face, so.
Yeah.
And we've talked before, I'm an impatient person, so it's really hard for me because I want resolutions quickly, and that can't always happen. And so having to realize that, like, it's not going to be solved overnight, and just having to be okay with that, and being happy and grateful for the progress, even if it's small. So like, hey, no, the situation isn't fixed, but it's better than it was yesterday. So let's keep going. We're getting there. So
it's a really good perspective to have.
So eventually I just had to give it to God and let go of it, because I can't fix it. And that's hard. So you have to trust that He's got it. And I think what really changed my perspective was realizing that trust isn't passive.
Mm-hmm.
It's the brave thing to do. But it's not always easy.
Yeah.
And we've talked about before that, like, the brave thing isn't going to be easy all the time.
If it was the easy thing to do, then everyone would do it and no one would have issues to be solved, right? Like, everything would just be fine.
Yeah.
Yes, like it is. It's simple, but it's hard.
Right.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. Would you have learned that lesson without going through anything hard?
Absolutely not.
Because I could have the same experience and I could just tell you about it.
Right.
And you're not going to gain the same knowledge than you would going through it yourself. So why did you going through that impact you in such a major way?
I think, again, going back to hitting a wall thing, some people just have to hit a wall to be able to learn a lesson, especially us stubborn people. But I feel
again, not us,
no,
just other
not
people.
Not us at all. But I feel like for me, at least, because I was trying to control everything and I wanted to give it to God, I had to kind of come to the end of myself a little bit to be able to hand it over. Because if I could still control parts of it, then I was never going to get there. So it had to take me, again, hitting that wall to be like, okay, there's no steps forward that I can take, so here you go. You know what I mean? So
I love that you just said I have to get to the end of myself. And like that's our end. Like that's where we just can't carry it anymore.
Right.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, and I know we've talked before in episodes and guest episodes just about, like, if we could do it ourselves, what would be the reason to have God or any other humans?
Yeah. Like there's no point in community. There's no point in religion. Like there's no point in any of that if we can just do it all.
No, and I know for a fact, like in my own life, and I know pretty much for everyone else too, like it's in those hard moments that you grow, you rely on other people, and that's when change happens. It doesn't happen when everything's just sunny and having the best time. So
yeah, I love that. Thank you. I put those on there and I told her I was going to ask her some really hard questions today. And I think you did a really good job. So thank you. Thank you for being willing to share. Cause every time you share about that, I just love it.
I know what my brain wants to say, but being able to say it in a good way that like makes sense is kind of difficult.
I thought it was great.
And also without, telling stories that take 85 million years, because
I would listen.
That's where I end up.
I would listen
a lot of the time.
Okay, so we're going to turn it over to our listeners, to you now. And friendly reminder, our journal prompts are down below. They're free. I should probably say that every time. They're free. Go download them, print them out if you want to. So question 1 is, what's a lesson life had to teach you the hard way? There was no other way you could have learned it.
I think another great one to ask is, what would you from 5 years ago be so surprised that you have learned now?
Oh, I just love that one.
That's so good.
It's so cool to think about.
I love questions like that.
Yeah.
Because they really, I don't know.
They really make you think about like the person that you used to be.
Those are the questions that make me feel the most proud in myself.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
And Rachel from 5 years ago would be the most proud of yourself right now.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that awesome?
Slightly disappointed for a minute, but then being like, whoa.
She'd have like 5 seconds of disappointment.
Yeah.
And then she'd be like, holy crap, I can't believe all of that.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I love it. Okay. And the last question for this portion of the episode is there a hard truth that you are resisting right now? So is there something you need to hear about yourself?
So those lessons that keep cycling back? Let's talk about those for a minute.
I love those, where it's like you just can't learn it for some reason.
No. Why? Because we're dumb humans.
We're just being humans. I think one that comes to my mind immediately, one that just keeps coming back over and over again, is just trusting my gut. Because I feel like I always know like the right answer, or like I always know what I should be doing. But somehow I try to logic my way out of it.
Yeah.
And then finally, when I trust my gut again, like, then I'm like, oh, that was so easy. And that worked out so nicely. And why didn't I do that first? And then I like somehow forget that that's the right thing to do.
Yeah. I think one of mine is tying my worth to my productivity. Like if I'm not doing something useful, I feel like I'm falling behind. Even though I know that that's not true at all.
But it feels true.
Like it. Yeah.
That's such a good one. Another one of mine, which I may have referenced earlier, is about over functioning. So I jump into ultra fixer mode immediately, and then I wonder why I'm exhausted and maybe resentful and just burnt out.
Yeah. My last one I also mentioned, and that is I isolate myself when I'm overwhelmed. So instead of reaching out or opening up, I shut down and then wonder why I feel alone.
That's so real. Okay. For like a really silly one, I think we were talking to my husband earlier and I was asking him what my like fatal flaws are. And he said that you really need carbs. Like you completely shut down if you do not eat carbs.
Right.
So a hard lesson I've had to learn is I just need to like carry something with carbs in it so that my brain can function or I get hangry. It's a hard lesson.
It's really funny, those little things that we just ignore, even though we know that it's like what are you doing?
My body needs food. How weird.
How odd is that? Mine is physical activity.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it. I don't want to get out of bed. Are you kidding me? But then recently, like I've been going on walks and it's like getting up to doing it is the worst part. But then you do it and you're like, I feel so good. Like it's like the best thing ever. It's like, this is amazing. Why do I feel so good? Oh, exercise. It's like our bodies were made to do that or something.
It's like these lessons that keep coming back though, where it's like, okay, so next week you're going to forget that made you feel so amazing.
Right.
Right. Like I'm not going to pack a snack next time I leave the house.
Another one for me too is like reading my Bible and Bible journaling. I know how good that is for me.
Yes.
I know how it affects my day and how like it literally shifts my mental health. Yet I choose to scroll on TikTok and think that that's going to help.
That doesn't do the same thing. That's so interesting.
No. So dumb.
It's so true though, where it's like there are just these lessons that keep coming back every freaking day.
Yeah.
Because for some reason we just can't like form it into a habit or whatever it is. I don't know.
There's a song that came out this past summer by a Christian artist, and his name is Josiah Queen. And the song's called Dusty Bibles. And the chorus goes, "We've got dust on our Bibles and brand new iPhones and wonder why we feel this way."
That's good.
It's like,
that's really good.
and we all heard it and we all know it's true. And what are we going to do tomorrow? We're going to wake up and scroll on TikTok. The brain forms patterns and habits for protection, even emotional ones, until we become aware of the patterns and consciously rewire it, which takes repetition and intention. We'll often repeat what's familiar, even if it hurts us. Here's a couple more questions for you guys. What's a pattern or lesson you find yourself repeating?
And it can be like a silly, jokey one or a serious one. Yeah. And then question 2 is, what would it look like to respond differently next time?
Yeah. Okay, so we've talked a lot about the lessons we've already learned, but what about the ones that we are still learning?
All right, so one lesson I keep having to learn and relearn is that it's okay to not be everyone's favorite. I know it sounds really silly, but I've spent so much time in my life people pleasing that even one person being upset with me or thinking poorly of me would just wreck me.
Yeah.
It would just destroy me. I'm getting a lot better at it, I would say, but I still feel the sting. Like if I feel like people are talking about me or like they just think negatively about me, it still hurts.
Yeah.
And I wish that I didn't feel like that. So I'm still learning.
Yeah, that's such a hard one.
Yeah.
I think one of the big ones for me is learning to sit in discomfort.
Oh, that's such a good one.
Not just sitting in discomfort, but sitting in it and not trying to rush to fix it. So when something is hard and I don't have the answer, learning to pause and be like, okay, that's okay. Like I'm allowed to be uncomfortable for a minute and not trying to come up with an answer. Or I feel like a lot of times I'll try and come up with like alternative things to fix, like to temporarily fix it. Which
put a Band-Aid on it real quick.
Does not work. I think we talked about last season in Laura's episode, the anxiety episode, about just sitting in yellow.
Yeah.
So if you haven't listened to that episode, it's one of my very favorites. And we talked about this color scale, and sitting in yellow is where you're a little bit uncomfortable. And I think coping mechanisms for anxiety and all of that is so good. But I think learning to be like, okay, I'm anxious and it's okay to sit in the anxiety. Obviously, if you're losing it, that's, if you're in red, like no go, like you need to figure something out. But it's okay to sit in yellow. It's okay to sit and be uncomfortable and be a little bit anxious. And I feel like that has helped me grow so much and manage my anxiety moving forward. Just learning how to be like, okay, that's okay. Like, and it's normal. Having to remind myself like, oh yeah, this is a normal human response to whatever's going on. It's fine. We're going to make it through that. And not trying to immediately fix it, if that makes sense.
Totally. It's weird because it's almost like we have to unlearn survival habits. Mm-hmm. So it's like us trying to get out of yellow. Like that's a survival thing, right? Where it's like, ooh, I just like my body wants comfort.
Yep.
Right? Like I don't want to feel anxious. I don't want to be uncomfortable. And so I think that's so normal, but it's hard to like unlearn like our basic survival instincts. I think there's power in admitting that we don't have it all figured out. So even though we've made progress, there are still so many lessons to be learned in progress.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the lesson that once you finally got it, you finally figured it out, you could just exhale. You figured it out and you could move on with your life finally.
Yeah.
Let's talk about those.
I think one of the big ones in my life is that when I feel like I need to make a change or a shift in my life, or even if it's not even that big, but I know it's the right decision, even if it's not the popular decision among people around me and they're like, hey, are you sure you want to do this? Or if they're like, hey, this is the wrong decision, you shouldn't do it. But if I know it's the right decision for me, I just do it now. Like, I've figured that out, and that has impacted my life in huge, huge ways.
Yeah. I think having that, like, the sense of conviction in your decisions, I think that's so good. I think that's awesome. I think that's such a tough lesson to learn. But then once you learn it, you're like, I can do this, and it's okay.
It is tough, especially when you're a people pleaser.
Yes.
And the people that are telling you you're wrong are people that you care about.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
it hurts extra.
It does.
Yeah.
But it's such a good feeling when you know that you've made the right decision. So
that's awesome.
It's worth it.
I love it. That's so awesome. I think for me, a lesson that took me a long time to learn, and then I finally figured it out, is that saying no doesn't make me a mean person. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't mean that I'm not, like, willing to help people. It doesn't make me unkind. It doesn't make me, XYZ, whatever it is. Yeah. Like I'm allowed to say no because I'm a human being with, like, limited time, just like everybody else. Yeah. Yeah. So I think that was a tough one. But once I learned it, I was like, oh, I don't have to do that. Yeah. I don't have to, like, bend over backwards for every single person I've ever met. Like, that doesn't have to happen.
I still struggle with that one.
It hard. It's
Again,
so hard.
For people pleasers.
Yes. It's such a hard lesson to learn. Yeah. And then I think another one for me is that I don't have to earn love through achievement. Mm-hmm. Like, it's okay for me to just build happy relationships and, like, have love within those relationships. Yeah. It doesn't have to be because I'm so awesome at whatever. Right. I can just have good people around me. Right. Yeah.
That's a good one.
So what we were just doing is called cognitive restructuring. This is changing our core beliefs that we've carried for years and years and years. So it often starts with awareness. That's almost always, like, the first step for everything, is you just have to become aware of it. And then it builds with new, repeated experiences that challenge the old belief system. I'm sure you guys saw this coming. We have a few questions for you. Question 1 is, what belief did you used to carry that no longer fits who you are now?
The other one is, what's one truth about yourself that you finally started believing?
I love that one.
I love it.
Do you have an answer to that one?
I feel like I keep saying the same thing over this last entire season and the end of last season, but that I can do things scared.
I knew it.
Like, I feel like it comes up all the time, but I cannot believe how much that has impacted my life. You wouldn't think that would, like, I don't know.
It's so applicable to every situation.
And it seems like such a simple answer to things. Like, well, of course you can do things scared. But the fact that I just, like, didn't fully realize that, and not even just realize it, but, like, apply it, that's the big one. Yeah. It is so life-changing. Like, I cannot stress that enough. So if you haven't done that, like, start small, but just do it, because it is absolutely insane. And I don't just mean, like, with silly things like, oh, I'm scared of going on roller coasters, I'm gonna go on a roller coaster. You can totally do that, but, like, with real life, like, issues and things that we have to face, I think that one was bigger for me. Like, I was much more willing to be like, oh, that roller coaster's huge, that makes me nervous, I'm gonna go on it, like, I think real life, like, oh, I'm really nervous to go to this event. So normally I would just, oh, I'm not going to this event. But doing it anyway, I don't know.
Or I'm really scared to ask for what I want, because what if the answer is no? And then you say, okay, I'm just going to do it scared. And then you get what you want because you weren't scared to ask.
Yeah. Yeah.
Such a mind-blowing thing, though, that something so simple can really, truly change the course of your life.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I thought before we close the episode, it would be fun to do some rapid fire lessons we've learned the hard way.
Love it.
We're also going to include some that you guys sent in. We put out a little poll on Instagram and you sent us some answers, so we're going to include those here. Yeah. Okay, the first one is, don't text when you're angry. Put the phone down, walk away, do not send the text. calm down and come back.
Yeah, that's a good one. One of mine is that most people listen to respond and not to actually learn.
I love that lesson so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay, another one is you'll always regret not thinking before you speak or reacting before you know the full story.
Yeah.
I think that's such a good one.
For sure. As we are saying these, I do want to preface really quick that if your feelings are getting hurt by these, just know they're also hurting our feelings. These are ones that we came up with that relate to us. And so, you know.
Or that we have found useful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it happens and it's okay. That's just room to grow, okay? So one that I have learned that is so hard is that being busy doesn't always mean you're being productive.
Yes, we've talked about this on here before.
Yeah.
Like I'm throwing myself under the bus. I used to be such a little calendar martyr where I was like, I'm just too busy. I couldn't possibly, but it made me feel so good about myself. Just being like, I'm so busy all the time. So I agree. Like, it doesn't mean that you're productive. It doesn't mean you're doing things with your time. You're just filling up your calendar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think that there's like if you need to stay busy for your sanity.
Yeah.
And like you have hobbies that aren't really like quote unquote productive, that's fine.
But I think if you're using busyness to not deal with your issues.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's different.
For sure.
Because that's what I was doing.
Yep.
It's not great. I think another hard lesson that I've learned is that closure isn't always something someone gives you. Sometimes you just have to come to a conclusion on your own and move forward in the best way that you can.
Oh, that's good.
It's a tough one.
That sucks.
It sucks big time.
The next one is one that Britton taught me in the middle of a podcast episode that made me sob. And that is that you can't heal in the same place that hurt you or that you were hurt in. And that has really changed my perspective on a lot of things. So, yeah.
It's a tough one.
It is.
It's a really tough one. I think my final one is, and like the more I talk to people who are just human beings going through life, the more this one rings true for me, is that you're not as behind as you think you are.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, everyone feels that way.
I have two final ones, and the first one is the longer you avoid it, the heavier it will get.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Because I am someone that just likes to, it'll get better with time. Just leave it alone. It'll be fine. I got this. And it just always explodes in your face. Like, how many things do I need to have explode in my face before I realize, oh, hey, maybe I should deal with this sooner?
It's like one of those recurring lessons where you're like, why didn't I just figure that out already?
It's really ridiculous, actually. And my final one is that some doors close to protect you, not to punish you.
That's a really, really solid piece of advice. I really like that one.
That one's hard. I think as a Christian a lot, I would struggle with this, feeling like God's punishing me for something, because you don't see the full picture. You don't see what he sees. And in reality, like he's protecting you from something, and he's setting you up for something way better because he has a plan, but you don't see that. And so all you see is, well, what I wanted is now over. And that is so hard.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because we can't see the whole picture. Mm-mm. It's like maybe there's a little window or something we're going to crawl into eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that a lot. That's a really good one.
If you're learning hard things right now, you're not alone. We've been there and we'll be there again. That's the deal with growth. It's rarely comfortable, but it's always worth it.
Your hardest lessons aren't failures. They're just not. They're proof that you're showing up, that you're living, and that you're learning and you're doing better.
Thank you so much for joining us today. If you're enjoying LightHearted, don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review. It really helps us reach more people who need a little more light in their lives.
And make sure you join us over on Instagram at LightHeartedPod to see clips of our episodes and some really fun behind the scenes content. We also do a lot of crazy things over on TikTok, so be sure to follow us there at LightHeartedPod. Make sure you check out our merch, and all of those journal entries that we mentioned are all listed below in the show notes. Check it all out.
And don't forget to stay lighthearted.
This podcast was recorded on Buzzsprout in West Virginia.